Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio. Brand new week, brand new month. Hopefully, brand new money will follow that as well. Monday, November 1st. Ian Cameron, Skee Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, ready to break down the Monday NBA card. Let's get right into it because we got a lot of games. We've got 8 games on the schedule tonight. We'll start with Cleveland taking on Charlotte. We've got the Hornets 5-point home favorites, 220 the total. In this game, I never thought that I'd be talking about Charlotte as one of the teams that have been one of my biggest money makers early in the NBA season because I didn't really like this team going into the year. But sometimes you've got to be willing to change your opinion and, at least for now, roll with the changes, as Ario Speedwagon once said. You got to roll with the changes. I'm rolling with the changes here with the Charlotte Hornets. They have played some really good basketball. They've gotten off to a great start, 5-2. I cashed a ticket with them against Portland yesterday. Small home underdog, beat Portland 125-113. Hornets playing some really, really good ball at the moment. And we'll see if that continues here today. Now, it is a back-to-back situation for Charlotte after beating Portland yesterday, but you could make a case that the Cleveland scheduling situation is even worse because they're on this long road trip through Denver, through the Clippers, through the Lakers, through Phoenix in their last 4 games. And this now is going to be their 5th game that they've played in a span of just 8 days. So it's been a lot of basketball in a short period of time here for Cleveland. Schedule might be catching up to them a bit. And you look at it, Charlotte's taking the money here in this game. And these teams already played earlier in the season, last couple weeks ago. And Charlotte won in Cleveland, 123-112. That game went over the total. I'd probably lean Charlotte here at -5. I just think this is asking a lot for Cleveland. They're traveling West Coast now to the East, 5th game in 8 days. Charlotte, it is a back-to-back, but no travel because they're playing back-to-back home games. And I'm not stepping in front of the Hornets at the moment, playing some really good basketball. So it would be only Charlotte laying the points for me if I'm betting this game. What do you like here, Skee, with Cleveland and Charlotte?
I don't really like this game. Charlotte, I know they want to play fast, play up tempo, and more of an over team. Cavs playing a little bit slower, playing better defense, and both teams top 10 defending the 3. So I really don't want to put my money on the over. I can't. The Hornets, I just don't want them in a row where you have to lay 5 points or more. Like I like the Hornets in the pick 'em or underdog role. That's where I want to put my money on them. And just between that and them on a back-to-back, even though they're young, probably doesn't affect them as much as some other teams. I probably will still lean Cleveland +5.
All right, would lean to Cleveland here. Dutch, what do you like in this one?
Yeah, man. It's Medicaid Monday. Got the Venom OG in the plane. Heavily motherfucking medicated today. No lie. Yeah, man. About to take flight for sure. Hit the motherfucking like button. Muchly appreciated. Shout out to everybody in the chat joining us on this beautiful Medicaid Monday. We appreciate y'all. Share the video if you can. And keep smashing that motherfucking like button until you can't do it no more. Yeah, man. This game, I have to look the Cavs, to be honest with you. I do think the Cavs 4-1 ATS on the season. Back-to-back spot for Charlotte. I'm not going to bet this game because I don't have to, but I do like the 5 points, to be honest with you. The last time we seen Charlotte in the back-to-back game, they did lose after their back-to-back game already previously. Just draw a blank on who they played, but they had a previous back-to-back early and then lost the second game of a back-to-back. So I don't know if I want to be in this spot lane 5. I do believe Charlotte's the better team. If Cleveland's going to be tired, they did go to LA, then Phoenix. So I agree kind of with Ian as well on that. I don't know if it's too good of a spot, for Cleveland as well. But if you can give me 5 points, I don't think I could lay 5 on a back-to-back with Charlotte at this point. So I'd lean the Cavaliers.
Leaning to Cleveland. All right, Wham, what do you like?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same way. I'm leaning Cleveland as well. Last game, Rubio felt like he took a lot of the blame there, that he got a reason why these guys lost the game, 112-123. Had 6 turnovers in that game. I think he's going to play well here. I think the Cavs is a good spot here, even though they have been, kind of been going through the turnstile, if you will say. They went through a little rough patch, but they went on a winning streak the last time they lost to this team. So they won 3 straight games last time they played this Hornets team. I do think that it may be some guys getting added into the lineup that may mess up a little chemistry here in this spot. Like Dutch said, this is the 3rd game in 4 nights for this Hornets team. They could possibly fall flat here. I think the Cavs is probably live here. That's the way I would bet.
All right, Portland, Philadelphia. We got the Sixers 1.5, 2-point home favorites, 220 the total in this game. Money coming in on Portland. Philly was 6-point home favorites at the opener. Now it's 2 because of the Joel Embiid status. He's ruled out for tonight, so not in the game tonight for the Sixers. Obviously makes a world of difference. That being said, if you didn't bet Portland early, personally, would I bet Portland now at +2, +1.5? The answer is no. I don't trust this team right now at this point in time. I took Charlotte against them yesterday. They're 0-2 on the road this year, both straight up and against the spread. The same problems that haunted this team under Terry Stotts through most of his tenure are haunting Portland right now. That's inconsistent defensive game, and we saw that yesterday against Charlotte in that 125-113 loss. Now, they did win 2 times in a row at home before that, the Clippers and the Grizzlies, but we haven't seen this team step up on the highway yet. That's a problem. And sometimes for teams without even a guy as important to the Sixers as Joel Embiid is, a lot of times the rest of the team picks up the slack in a game without a key player. And it's not like this is a slam dunk terrific situation and spot or scheduling spot for Portland playing the second of back-to-back games here. This is also going to be their third game in 4 nights, which isn't the greatest thing in the world either. For this Portland team. So, if you got a good number at Portland, good on you. Well done. But now at plus, what is it? +1.5, +1.2 now? +1.5, +2 with Portland? No, not at that number. So for me now, it's a pass on this game. If anything, I would actually look for the Sixers even without Embiid. What do you think here with Skee Profit with this one, Portland and Philly?
I feel like we've seen this enough times to kind of know how it goes. When in the NBA, when you chase injuries, you get killed. At least that's how it was last year. So, like you said, Ian, if you got Portland early, that's good for you. But at this point, I'm not going to be the guy coming in after everybody's banging Portland and betting them all the way down. And I just still think Philly can win this game, and that's kind of how I see it going. That's kind of how I see it playing out. So, I think it's a trap game. I would only play Philly.
Yeah, I lean under too because I think Portland, they didn't like the way the defense went for them yesterday. I think this game could actually stay under the total. That's been the thing with Portland when they've had those really bad defensive games. Billups has kind of lit them up, and they've played a little bit better defensively every time they've really had a bad night defending. So tonight might be one of those nights they turn it up. And of course, we know Philly's a defensive team most nights, and I think we'll see maybe an under here in this one. Thank you for the donation, $6.99 dono from Kevin Duffraidis. Thank you very much. He's donated a bunch of times. We appreciate your support, 100%, and everybody that tunes in daily. Dutch, what do you like here?
Yeah, to touch on that real quick, sorry you lost the 1K yesterday, my guy. The Broncos, my team, I don't know how the fuck they won that game. Out time of possession, out yardage, out fucking everything. Somehow Washington loses that game. I'm sorry you lost some money. I was happy they did it. They got the win for Peyton, in the Ring of Honor. But I don't know how the fuck they don't cover 4, and actually not win the game outright. But yeah, man, sorry about that. Shout out Abby Jackson, in Portland +2. Can't get right. Under 4-0. 76ers last 4 games. Shout out the pocket quarterback Lamar Jackson. Yeah, man. So this, I don't know about no pocket quarterback Lamar, but I'll fuck with you, bro. Yeah, man. This game though, what game were we talking about again? My fault.
Portland and Philly. Yeah,
it's a backwood.
Hey, now it is a backwood, to be honest with you.
If he asks what game it is, I think it's a backwood for him.
Hey, I told you it's Medicaid Monday. I've been smoking since fucking 8 a.m., bro. No, hey, but this game, I think you missed the boat. If you're not on the 5, there's no way I'm back in Philly, to be honest with you, out Embiid and Simmons. I know Simmons hasn't been on the court all year, but your 2 best players off the court. They rested the players last night, once they seen that Charlotte was putting it on them. So Portland should be ready to rock and roll. I look more first half, but I think you missed the boat on it. But if you do like Portland 115, 120, drop a little something on it. You ain't going to be mad. All
right, Wham, what do you like in this game?
Yeah, if I was going anywhere, I'm probably thinking props here. Tobias Harris actually been playing pretty well. 19.8 points per game, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. I think his points, rebounds, and assists, or just rebounds here at 8.5. That's the way I'll be looking here. The reason what got me staying off of it, I think Portland still might be the play here. If you did miss out on a number for sure. I still think they have been probably owning this team here in this meeting. Last 7 meetings, they were 6 times they covered, only pushed the last in that one of those 7. So Over actually hit as well 6 out of the 7 times as well these guys met up. So I could see there's a lot of points here, and I could see being a high-paced game. It did seem like Tobias Harris did say something about them needing to push the pace. It's a little bit better for them. And also, they are number 1 in fast break points. The Sixers are. So I wouldn't be surprised if they keep the tempo up. We already know what type of team Portland wants to be. So that's the way I would look over. And Tobias Harris over 8.5.
All right.
They smacked them all 3 times last year, Portland. In and out of the lineup. Dame didn't even play a couple of games. I forgot to touch on that. Good point, Wham. They've had their way with Philly. I believe 6-0-1 or some shit.
No, they've done good, especially ATS head-to-head. It has been a Portland series. I just don't know if I'm. That being said, I'm still not ready to trust this group just yet. Second of back-to-backs, and now we're starting to see the Philly money come back in. I'm seeing it bump up to 2.5 again.
So Dame times due, bro. Dame time 2 of fucking 14 last night, I believe, from the 3-point line, bro. Like, god damn, Dame.
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing bad. He's playing worse than Westbrook.
Yeah, he's working on that music career more than his
Dave Dollar
right now. That's what he's doing at the moment. Yeah. San Antonio and Indiana. Indiana 3-point home favorites, 216.5 the total. Wow, you got to put the Indiana Pacers in that category of most disappointing team so far. I mean, really rough start for Rick Carlisle with his new group. 1-6 straight up. 2-5 against the spread. It has been a difficult beginning. Injuries haven't helped. Like they've had Brogdon banged up, Duarte now questionable, Karis LeVert, of course, Jeremy Lamb doubtful tonight. So they've got some injuries, but they're just not playing well really at either end of the floor. The offense has been hit or miss. We thought this team defensively would pick it up, but just hasn't been the case so far. Pacers for the year defensively, they are giving up 45% from the field, 37% from three-point range. Not very good in either statistic, in either category right now. We'll see if they can fix it here tonight against San Antonio, but obviously it's a team struggling. We saw them lose on the weekend as home favorites to the Raptors, 97-94. What makes that an even more alarming loss is, they lost in Toronto to that same Raptors team just a few days before that, and they lost to them again on their home court on Saturday. So I'm not really in a rush to lay 3 here with Indiana. San Antonio, we've talked about how, as a dog, that's when usually you want to take the Spurs. And last 2 games, underdogs in both. At Dallas, they lead the majority of the game. They couldn't hold on late. They lose by 5, but they get the cover in that game. And then at Milwaukee, I was surprised by this because the Bucks just got obliterated by Minnesota the game before that. You would think the Bucks would have bounced back, but that did not happen. San Antonio, 102-93 victory at Milwaukee on Saturday night. Very impressive game from the Spurs, and they got great contributions from, obviously, DeJounte Murray was big, 23 points in that game for the Spurs. Very impressive. And what's amazing, too, for the Spurs in the win against Milwaukee, 102-93, just 4 different players had double digits there. Murray, Derek White, Bryn Forbes, who can get hot sometimes from three-point range. He did that on Saturday. And, of course, Keldon Johnson with 12 points as well. So impressive performance from San Antonio against the defending NBA champions. We'll see if they can keep that going here in this one. This might be another Jakob Poeltl game. I don't know if I like it as much as the game last week against Dallas, but Sabonis is kind of a good offensive big man, not a very good defensive one. And I think that's good news potentially for Mr. Poeltl tonight for the Spurs. So I might be looking at a points and rebounds or a double-double kind of deal with him once again tonight for this Spurs team. I lean San Antonio here, +3. I got to see something better from the Pacers before I'm ready to lay points with them. Skee Profit, what do you think here? San Antonio, Indiana.
Well, I just saw comments, buy 3 points. I mean, you might as well just pick a different game. If you go,
no buying points. No,
not even just a half a point, not 1 point, but 3.
Hey, that shit stood out to me like a motherfucker, Ski. I'm glad you touched on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't pass by that, bro.
Come on, Top Shelf. You got too dope of a name to be saying some bullshit like that, my guy.
For real. Yeah, do better, bro.
This one, Spurs, Pacers. I think the Spurs have been playing better than the Pacers lately, or at least the last 5 games for what I'm looking at. Both teams kind of poor offensively. If you don't have Brogdon, I really don't want the Pacers offense. And he's going to matter just as much for their defense too. So I guess keep an eye on Brogdon's status. But the only way I could play this game would be to take the Spurs here, plus the 3 points. I think they can even get a win.
Yeah, and when you're unfortunately, you might be a good guy, but when you come into the chat saying Spurs by 3 points to +6, nickname should be not so top shelf plays at that point in time.
Hey, now we all ganging up on the cap. He be in the chat every day. Top shelf, much love, my guy, but we don't buy fucking points, especially 3-piece. This ain't football, homeboy.
Yeah. We happy you here, bro. We happy you here. That way you can hear it from us, bro, for sure.
Yeah, no buying points. But basketball is one of the worst sports you could buy points too, with all the fouling that goes on toward the end of this.
Watch the fucking Pacers win by 5. You'll be like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah. That's.
Hey, I hope that happens for you because I'm sure you already bet it, but that shit ain't. Just don't do it in the future, my guy.
Yeah, even in football, like there's one. I'll admit that I have one case where I might consider buying a point, and that's when I see a 6.5 at like +100 or plus price, and buying up to the 7 +7 would be just minimal juice. That's the one instance where I might be interested in buying a half point. That's it.
I'm not gonna say I haven't bought points in sports before, but every time it just doesn't seem to work out. So it's like, why bother? Just like Skee said, find another game, bro. There's so many fucking. What we got? How many games we got on just alone in the NBA today?
Right.
But yeah, with this
Go ahead,
game,
Zach, what do you like here?
Right. Yeah, San Antonio, Indiana, man. This to me comes down to real quick. Shout out to our guy Sharpie. Buy weed, not points.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, man. Get that top shelf flour. You should know all about that, Mr. Top Shelf Plays.
Better bang for your buck buying weed than buying points.
Shout out to 568 Soldier. Our guy Robert Cherry. I seen you, bro, on that wedding cake. He's betting a whole bunch of fucking first buckets to score. So hey, best of luck with that, my guy. Yeah, this game though, I think it comes down to simply is Dorte. He's been a big piece for Indiana. We've made money off him. He's got to be out there. Now, if LeVert's out there and Brogdon's out there, I don't think we'll miss him as much because LeVert, when he's out there, he's nice. But the interesting stat, excuse the fuck out of me, with this game is the Pacers have a better percentage shooting 5 out of the 7 games against their opponents this year. And obviously they've lost a lot more games than they've won. Now, last year when they've shot a better percentage than their opponent, they won the game 85% of the time. So I look at that, to maybe come a little bit more back to even. I do think that you see the Spurs +3 against the Pacers team. It looks intriguing to take the 3 points. I think the line might be telling here, but I'm not going to go to the window unless Brogdon is out there. Brogdon's a big piece to me. The Pacers could fuck this up, but I do believe Pacers is the play tonight if Brogdon's on the court.
All right, leaning Pacers for Dutch. Wham, what do you like here?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. When I looked at this game, I just thought about Babano said, man, Jakob Poeltl. Let me look into this. So the Indiana, actually this year, they allowed the 5th most in rebounds to centers at 12.8 rebounds. So we can get that for Jakob Poeltl. We can get that type of production here for starting centers. And then if you think about Jakob Poeltl just getting pretty much bad numbers, man. The lines, it hasn't adjusted really at all for it to be +170 at FanDuel for double for Jakob Poeltl. I think this is a good spot. We know the Pacers allowed the 5th most points in the league so far. I think that's a good player here, man. I think that's where I would be going if I would be playing this game. It would be Jakob Poeltl, double, just like my guy Ian said.
Yeah, Jakob Poeltl. And by the way, Miles Bridges, people mentioning him in the chat. I didn't mention him in that game, but it goes without saying. Miles Bridges bet it. Yeah, over points, rebounds, and assists has been apparently he's cashed every one of those this year. So Miles
not
Bridges,
not the last game. He didn't get the last game.
There you go. So first time he hasn't.
Which means it's even better to back it today because if it don't cash, it usually cash the second day. Believe that.
Yeah, usually sometimes you get that uptick in performance after a down.
What do you think about the over on this game? Anybody did you say you like the over on this game, Ian?
I will if LeVert plays and Brogdon plays. Yes, I'll be more interested in the over.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at the over a little bit, but not kind of. Yeah. 2 teams that just don't play that much defense and 2 teams that could put the ball in the bucket,
Yeah, I've got the over circled. I'm waiting to see what the lineup looks like for the Pacers here. Toronto and New York, Knicks 7-point home favorites, 208 the total here. I got to lean a little bit Raptors here. I just do because they've been feisty. They've been good on the road here this year. You look at their road numbers, 6-1 ATS, last 7 as a road underdog. This year is a road underdog. What have they done? They only went to Indiana, beat them outright. They only went to Boston and beat the Celtics outright as road underdogs. Road underdogs is their role. I will guarantee you this season, if you're asking me what point spread role are the Raptors going to make the most money, it's going to be road underdog because they're going to be one of those teams. They're young, they're energetic, they play good defense, they got length, athleticism, and that's going to keep them in a lot of these games. So I would lean Raptors. The one concern, though, is they've got the potential for no Scotty Barnes tonight, and he's played so well for them lately. He's got a thumb sprain, doubtful to play for the Raptors. That does hurt a little bit. And look, Raptors don't have – remember the Raptors had one of the best benches in the NBA for the last – that's not this year's team. So when they deal with injuries, they definitely are going to feel it more often than not. The quality depth along the bench and the reserves isn't quite there for Nick Nurse the way it's been in years past. You've got the Knicks off 3 straight wins, one against the Sixers at home, and then back-to-back road wins against Chicago and the Pelicans. They're obviously playing great ball and off to a strong 5-1 start, 4-2 against the spread this season. Probably win the game. I just have a question whether they win by enough of a margin to cash a ticket here against a Raptors team that when you look at their game, since that really bad game on opening night, and I guess with so many players, that Washington game, it just nothing was out in sync for them. But other than that, the other 2 losses were an 8-point loss against Dallas and a 3-point loss against Chicago. So they've been in the majority of their games. So I'm leaning to the Raptors here at +7. Skee, what do you think? Raptors and Knicks.
Yeah, if you like the Knicks, I mean, I guess you take them first half. It's been good since last year. It's been good so far this year. I just think you have to keep looking at it that way if you like that side. For me, I bet this game early this morning, and it's getting to that point. I mean, it's getting annoying where guys are starting to be out later in the day. Seen a couple guys that happening today, so I don't love that Scotty Barnes is doubtful now. I probably would. I don't know if I'll hold off completely, but I wouldn't have made the bet this morning if I knew he was out. That's just all I'm saying. I still don't think New York should be 7-point favorites, so I'm going to ride it out. I like the Raptors. Their defense has been pretty solid. They're a good rebounding team, so I think that they can be in this game.
They are. And you talk about rebound props. Barnes not going to play. Guess who you go to for rebounds now? You go to my precious Achua here for the Toronto Raptors. There's a little Lord of the Rings there. Precious Achua here for the Toronto Raptors. I think that's the guy that's going to clean up a lot more of the boards now, especially in the absence of Scotty Barnes. And he only had 3 rebounds the other game against Indiana over the weekend, but that's going to go up that number now if Scotty's not going to play, and that's going to be the case here. Precious Achua over rebounds. I like that tonight. For Toronto. Dutch, what do you like here? Raptors and Knicks.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Rodney. I see you. It's Daryl in the chat. Appreciate you joining us, my dude. Yeah, this game, man. I think Scotty Barnes, big piece. Hey, yeah, shout out to our guy Big Show in the back too. I believe we got 100 viewers and only 47 likes. Come the fuck on, Hundo, Mando. Come on now, smash it. Get to it quickly. Our guy Tease in the chat too. I see you, bro. Much love. Hit the motherfucking like button one time. Yeah, man. This game, though, I look Scotty Barnes, a big piece, paying 35 minutes a game, 18-9, giving you a couple assists. The guy, if you're watching him, man, he's nice. He's real nice. Looking like I don't want to say it yet because we got Jalen Green out there showing out. We ain't seen too much of Cunningham, but this kid's nice. But he's a big piece missing, I believe. And I told you, man, the Knicks, they're going to bring it every night. They bring it. Now, they did one game so far this year where I haven't seen them play their A game realistically. Was against Orlando when they had that mixed back-to-back. Didn't play the best against the Pelicans the other night. I don't believe they covered. I think they pushed, and on that first half, pretty gross, that fucking hooker, my guy Wham. I remember that. Yeah, I hate to bring it up, but we got to talk about it.
I was about to talk about that shit. Don't trip.
So, yeah, that shit wasn't too appealing. But we're going right back. We said, if it don't hit, it probably going to hit the second time. So, and Skee touched on it. The Knicks first half bit money. Going -4 first half Knicks all day. I like this look with Scotty Barnes in the lineup, to be honest with you. I think the Knicks are just better, deeper bench. You've actually got to coach these two coaches. Who's better, whatever you say. This is where I don't believe either one has that big of an edge when it comes to coaching. It's going to be more of what's on the court. And the Knicks are just a better basketball team from the starting lineup to the bench. I think they're just deeper, better, and they'll handle business at home. They played well at home, and especially in the first half. So I don't know if I want to lay 7, but I would only look that way, especially without Scotty Barnes. But give me -4. all fucking day.
All right, first half, Knicks -4.
Shout out to Vitalis. I see you with the knowledge in the chat, my guy. My bad.
Dutch. Yeah, Vitalis. Yeah, that's good stuff, Vitalis. He was with us
Yeah.
for the football show earlier today. So
He comes with
very
some good shit.
Appreciate you tuning in. These people that tune into multiple shows on the channel, we appreciate that. That's great support right there. I lean under as well in this game as well at 208.5. It's already come down though. That's the problem. 4-point move downward, but I agree with it. Wham, what do you like here?
Yeah, man, my guy Dutch brought it up, man. I got to bring it up as well. No Brandon Ingram. They still wasn't able to break the damn zone, bro. They kept playing the zone. They couldn't attack it. They couldn't attack the zone for the Knicks, so they didn't cover the first half. They were up by like almost 15, 16 points. Looked like it was an easy play, man. I was on my way to work. Thought I had cash in my account, just about to start to trickle down. And, of course, we lose by the hook, of course. So, that's probably the reason why I'm a little bit biased here. I do think that is a spot here for the first half for them. Like Babeno said, being at home is a different factor for them. They were on the road the last game, so I think that may be a little bit difference here. But I'm gonna stay away from here. This game is a backward for me, man. I just think there's just too much things to think about as far as what Scotty Barnes meant to this team, in my opinion, as far as his defense, how long he is, the amount of rebounds and points that he was averaging here. It just seems like it's a little bit too much for me for this team that I think that's already kind of shorthanded on talent. So I'm going to stay away from it. But I do think it's going to be a lot of aggression here. So I'll stay away from the over as well. I would think the over here too, but I think an under may still be in play here. So I'm going to stay away.
Right.
That's the only way I like to see it.
All right, we got Washington and Atlanta next up. Wizards, Hawks. Hawks 5.5-point home favorites, 223.5 the total in this one. It's been a bit of an up and down start for Atlanta. They're 3-3, and Washington on the other side 5-1 to begin the year. We thought Washington would be an improved team, and boy, they've played that way so far. 3 straight victories, 2 against Boston. They beat Atlanta at home, 122-111. Just a few days ago. So you got a mini short turnaround revenge spot here for Atlanta after back-to-back losses here to the Sixers and the Wizards. I just feel this does set up pretty decently here for Atlanta. I'm actually leaning to the Hawks here. As good as Washington's been, and they have been good, 5-1 to start the year. Obviously, I like what they've done too. We have talked about this a lot, but you bring in Caldwell Pope, you bring in Kuzma, and all of a sudden, you've got a little bit of sandpaper, a little bit of defense, and they have played a little bit better now this year so far on the defensive end of the basketball court. I mean, their defensive numbers, they're still not off the charts, but, man, they're better than they were last year, which isn't saying much because they were an all-time bad defensive team, Washington, last year. But they are playing a little bit better at that end of the floor right now. But this feels like a circle the wagons, get right spot for Atlanta after 2 straight road losses to the Wizards and the Sixers, and they still have played pretty good basketball at home. And let's not, they beat up on Dallas 113-187. They smashed Detroit 122-104 in their other 2 home games. And let's not forget, long term, the track record for Atlanta on their home court's been really good, to the tune of 23-8 their last 31 home games against the spread, 20-6 against the spread their last 26 as home favorites. Factor in the Hawks just lost to this team in Washington a few days ago. I think I'd side with Atlanta here, -5.5 in this one. Skee, what do you think here? Washington, Atlanta.
Yeah, Washington's been playing a little bit better than Atlanta lately. I definitely get that. I know it's a different Washington team, but Atlanta, a lot of the games they've been losing, they've been on the road, and that's already like they weren't that good on the road as they were at home last year. So I do expect them to be a lot better today. And you just throw on top of that, they just lost to this team. So it's kind of like a quick, short revenge type situation and a chance for them to get back on track and not go below 500. So I like the Hawks here, -5.5. I think they can win by 10 plus.
All right, liking the Hawks as well here. There we go. A little Atlanta Hawks here, -5.5 here tonight against Washington. I lean to the over too. I mean, I know Washington's improved defensively, but you look at the series history. Last year, 3 of the 4 meetings, we got 216, 249, 236, and 233, in terms of total points. And this total is only around 223 in this game. So I think I like the over a little bit as well, but I like Atlanta as well. What do you think here, Dutch?
Yeah, shout out to Star Child. I see you. Our guy, Nutflesh Allen. Astute Chaos, everybody in chat, man. Much love. Yeah, pretty much every fucking thing you said, Ian. Shit, what you said, bro. I agree completely. Everything you said on that first breakdown. I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. Really, Skee touched on a little bit of it. Only other thing I think I could say is Wizards coming off that double overtime win in Washington. They should, I know they got kind of a deep roster, but that was a big game for them. They put a lot of effort in that game as well. But it's a clear Atlanta spot. This is one of my favorite games on the card. I just hope they don't disappoint. But yeah, Atlanta at the house -5.5. That's good money.
I mean, they're 2-0 straight up in ATS, double-digit wins in their previous 2 games this year. I mentioned the long-term track record. What is it? 20-6. The last 26 ATS is a home favorite. I mean, this is their role. They lost to this team just a few days ago. If the bet loses, so be it. But right now at this point in time, I think Atlanta's sitting in a good spot. It's just a question of whether they go up there.
This game shouldn't be close, like Skee said. Now, our guy It's Daryl real quick did say he don't think Trey is right. He seemed to be all right to me. I mean, he could get double-digit assists. Just pass the fucking ball. You got enough scorers on that team. You're deep enough. Don't shoot no 25, 30-footers. And if you're hurt, don't go because they're deep enough. Honestly, they should handle this game either way. Be up double digits just by the spot, in my opinion.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, he was leading the Hawks in the game against Philadelphia in field goal attempts, 16. Like, if you're not feeling it and you're struggling with the stroke a little bit, then give it to Bogdanovich, give it to DeAndre Hunter, Collins, find other guys to score the ball. I mean, you're the point guard. You got to have that sixth sense in that sense in your head that, hey, if I'm not feeling it and my shot's not working, then maybe I shouldn't be shooting 16 field goals during the course of a game and maybe facilitate a little bit more. We'll see if Trey can put it together tonight. Wham, what do you like in this game?
I love the revenge factor there. I do like the Hawks, though, here in this spot. I think the 5 is kind of short for a reason, though, because you're getting respect from both sides with the Wizards. A lot of people like the Wizards now. I like the Wizards as well. I like Kuzma, especially with his rebound prop. He's been cashing the rebound prop every game this season. I like it at right now. He's averaging 11.8 rebounds, 15.5 points per game, maybe points and rebounds. I think the rebounds is at 8.5. I like the over 8.5 rebounds for Kuzma in this spot. That's probably the bet that I would make for sure. I already put that in already, but that's the best bet potential I may say for me in this spot. I think that this is a spot for the Hawks, though. I think the Hawks can bounce back in this spot, and they have the better players. They just got to get everybody gelled in. A lot of guys trying to figure out their roles here, like Cam Reddish, like you mentioned there, Dutch. So those guys that could play well today, I think those are the guys that I would look into as far as props, but it's just all the way. Kuzma, man. It's not broke, don't fix it, man. Go whack with the rebound. So let's make it official. That's be my play here for sure.
All right, Kuzma rebounds. Yep.
Yeah, real quick, Ian, my fault. He just reminded me of a prop I liked also from the Wizards side. I don't know if I'm going to back it because the prop's been kind of rough for me lately, but Montrezl Harrell's been playing fucking lights out. He's averaging fucking 19 and 10. So double, rebounds, points. If you can get a good number on him, he's that type of cat that is angry the way he got treated in LA, first of all. And then he brings it every night. He got big chip on his shoulder. Shout out to Coffee Demon, our guy with the donation. Very, very sticky, my guy. Hey, much love, Mr. Coffee. Appreciate you, my guy.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we appreciate it. Coffee.
Sorry.
Thank you for the donation.
You salty motherfucker.
Demon. Very good. Yeah, definitely. Wes Unseld, terrific. You're right. I agree.
Yo,
man,
man.
a good job so far. No question. About it. And you're right. You're 5-1 against the spread. I understand there's a case to be made to like Washington in this game, and I get it. It's not easy to go against them with that 5-1 straight up, 5-1 against the spread record. But then again, it just feels like for Atlanta at home off 2 straight losses, they lost one of those to Washington. To me, that might override the Washington streak, and Washington's not going to win and cover every game moving forward. But I just think it's Atlanta's night here in this one. I understand that there's a case to be made for Washington as well, if you like that side here. Chicago and Boston, we've got the Celtics, 2.5-point home favorites, 215.5 the total. Now, in theory, this looks like, maybe it's circle the wagons time for Boston. They just lost 2 games in a row against the Washington Wizards, both games. They lost to the same team. And before that, they barely beat Charlotte in overtime, and they had to rally from a deficit. Their only win this year of quality was against – they don't have a win against anyone of quality, to be honest. Charlotte was that best win they've had. The other win was against Houston, which isn't saying much. I'm on Chicago here. I don't give two shits about the spot and bounce back and all that stuff for the Celtics here. I think Chicago can go in there and win this basketball game. I like what I see from Chicago. It's been a nice start to the year for them. Just the one loss to the Knicks by a point, and they could have won that game. They've been terrific to begin the year. DeMar DeRozan, Levine, all the confidence. Donovan saying, these guys like to work hard. We've got a great group. We're comfortable. We've got this chemistry. It's getting better each day. There's a lot of positives with Chicago right now. I don't find many with Boston. They don't play a lick of defense now either, the Celtics. Their defense has been terrible. 115, 116, 129 points allowed. Their defensive numbers, they're giving up right now, 43% shooting to the opponent, which just isn't very good right now, or 44%, I should say, 36% from three-point range. That could be trouble with the Bulls shooting 38% from three-point range. You got a team shooting the three, Chicago, a team not defending the three, Boston. I like Chicago, and I like the over. I'm kind of surprised the total's going down a little bit in this game. 215.5. I think we'll see it go over that total. And I also like Chicago plus 2.5. Skee, what do you like here? Bulls, Celtics.
Yeah, I kind of disagree. I think the Celtics, I think last year they were better at home than on the road. They've been playing a lot of road games so far this year, dealing with players in and out of the lineup. And now they have everybody in today. And they're 2-4. I think this is a game where they got to get a win. And Chicago, they started off the season playing really easy competition. I think they played the Pistons twice, somebody else, Pelicans maybe. So I'm not really all too sold on Chicago. I think they're maybe a bit overrated at this point right now. So if I had to play this game, I would take Boston. -2, -2.5, whatever it is.
All right, we'll see if the Celtics, they're going to have to prove it to me first. And I know they're going to have Smart, Brown, Tatum. Everyone's good to go tonight. And that hasn't always been the case for the Celtics early on, especially Brown has had a lot of issues staying on the floor game in and game out. But right now, I don't trust the Celtics at this moment. We'll see if they can correct their issues. Let's not forget they got bombed by the Raptors as well at home early in the year. They've had some ugly home games, inexplicable head-scratcher performances. So we'll see if they can turn it around here. But look, I thought Chicago would close the gap on Boston this year. I thought they'd actually be not too far behind the Celtics in terms of closing that gap, and they've proven that to me here tonight. So we'll see, or so far. So we'll see if Chicago beat a really good Utah team over the weekend. We'll see if they can carry that over here to this game. I like points too, and I'm surprised the total's going down in this game. What do you think here, Dutch, with the Bulls and the Celtics?
Yeah, shout out to our guy Preston, man. He said it right there. Patrick Williams not playing. He's out. Like, we've talked about him being the Bulls being top heavy already. That's their starting power forward, man. So and I like that dude. He looks pretty efficient too. Like, he's not the wow factor, but he's solid. He's a solid hooper. Now I agree pretty much with what Skee said. A lot of people in the chat, like our guy Cap, talking about Boston trash, and I feel that way. I do. And I know I said, I'm going to cancel them motherfuckers, but I reflected over the weekend, and I can't, be like that. It's too early in the season to write off teams. And that's just being realistic. So I do believe this is a Boston spot. I haven't bet it yet because I do believe Chicago money's coming in. They're getting 2.5. The line's very telling here that Boston should win this game. I don't think it's a must win by any means. It's early, but I just think Boston – I think they're better than we think, and I think Chicago is a little overvalued. I think Levine's thumb is still an issue, and I think that the Celtics match up pretty well against this team. Honestly, you could put Williams on Big Vooch. You got Smart. I would throw Smart on Levine and just suffer his ass. And probably Brown on our guy DeRozan. Ian's guy DeRozan. Just contain him and make him more of a jump shot shooter. And Boston should handle business at home. The big thing to me is turnovers and, of course, knocking down the three-point shot. Boston has to hit open jumpers. Jaylen Brown has been lights out or lights the fuck off. You know what I mean? He gives you 30 or he gives you 12. It's disgusting. So if we get the right Jaylen and the right Jason, who's coming off a poor game too, this game should be a Boston spot here. I'm hoping I could get maybe closer to a pick 'em. We'll see what I do make official yet, but I definitely lean a strong lean to the Celtics. And it hurts to say that, but I believe it is.
All right, we'll see if Boston can bounce 1-7 against the spread. Their last 8 at home, Boston. So they got.
I'm 0-3 betting them so far this year, so
yeah.
it's a little
It's been
salty.
bizarre. That can be a great atmosphere, TD Garden, when they're playing great.
Yeah, they should be
for
ready.
them to be 1-7 against the spread. Their last 8 at home. That's been peculiar to say the least. Wham, what do you like here?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to make it a trifecta here in Boston here because I like Boston as well. Just something about this Bulls team. Just I haven't bet against them, haven't bet with them yet either. So it's just something about them just getting me kind of worried here. Now, there is something that I did want to highlight here is the last 5 games they've been dead last in rebounding. Man, like getting rid of having Williams out. Probably not going to affect their rebound. He's only averaging about 2 rebounds a game, but I still think it maybe make a difference here. It's a lot more Derek Jones Jr. now without Patrick Williams in the lineup for this team. So I just think that the Boston is just going to be the better team on the floor. I do like Jaylen Brown over 22.5 points as well. He did have 37 points last game against Washington. I think Marcus Smart just going to help him out on the defensive side here. So he should be able to a little bit more effective on offense there. I think that this is probably a good Boston spot here. So that's probably the way I would bet here is Boston. Take the -2, I believe you're getting. And them being at home is just a cherry on top, in my opinion.
There you go. DeMar would probably be – I'd probably prefer DeMar tonight than Levine from a Bulls prop standpoint. Vucevic, very interesting here that I'm looking at it here with him. Definitely over rebounds is interesting for him. I think that's not a bad way to go, but probably those two would be the ones I'd be looking at for Bulls props tonight in this one. All right, let's move on to the next one. It's Denver and Memphis next game. Pretty much a pick 'em here, both sides. 213 the total in this game for the Memphis Grizzlies. 3-3 they are to begin the year. They've had some really good performances at times, and then we've seen them struggle at times. They beat Golden State in overtime on the road, beat the Clippers in impressive fashion, but they also lost to the Lakers, blown out by Portland, blown out by Miami. And I like that Miami spot Saturday night against Memphis. I was shocked Miami was a dog in that game, and I know they played the night before, but Miami ends up just putting it to Memphis, putting one on them, 129-103 in that game. So you do have Memphis returning, or actually they were at home against Miami, home again here after a blowout loss against a Denver team that's playing third game in 4 nights, which is a bit of a concern. But I just don't see right now how I could back Memphis over Denver right now when I've got Denver as the better squad, in my opinion, and a Denver team that I think when they're talking about close games, they pull out these close games. They find ways to win these close games, and you don't always see that from the Memphis Grizzlies. So I would only look to Denver here at this spot at the pick'em number. In this one, I would lean Nuggets. What do you like here, Skee? Denver, Memphis.
Yeah, I played this one also early. I got Denver +2. And I just think Denver, for one, is the better team. And as far as defense goes, Memphis hasn't been playing any. They're the worst defensive rated team in the league through the last 5 games, with Denver being third. Memphis also second worst defending the 3. Denver top 5 shooting it. So I just think things match up very well for them. I look at matchups in the past. Denver's won 7 of the last 8. I just don't see how it stops today. I mean, Steven Adams, he's not going to be able to do anything with Jokic. I see a lot of advantages for Denver. And if you don't have John Morant, I think Denver wins easily.
That's another thing, too. He is not at all a sure thing to suit up tonight for the Grizzlies. Keep an eye on that. Latest for him is a game-time decision for John Morant with the sore right elbow is what he's dealing with here. So we'll see if he is in or out tonight. But this is another thing where if you've got that sixth sense that he's not going to play, bet Denver sooner rather than later because the line will move toward the Nuggets.
It's already moving.
And it's already. Yeah, I think there's a growing sense that he's not playing because this opened 1.5 Memphis, and now Denver's a 1-point road favorite. You know,
he wasn't on the injury report when I bet. When I bet, he was off of it, and then when they added him on there, now it's on the move.
Yeah, definitely. And the under too. Can't get right saying the under. Yeah, I lean under as well in this game. Dutch, what do you think here? Denver, Memphis.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Boston Nicky Fish Tanks with the don't know 369 to the motherfucking window. Yeah, man. I like it, Nicky. Yeah, man. All right, so with this game, this to me, so this is why I would not bet this game if if there was just a regular game tonight, but it is a regular game. But what I mean by this is on Wednesday they play again in Memphis. So this, I would probably stay away from Denver here originally, but I think we can take advantage of this right now and get it while it's hot. Great job getting the +2 early. Ski. I'll take it. I'll take it -1 all day right now. Denver's the better team. We talked about it. Now it's likely that Morant won't play. Probably sitting him for the game 2 on Wednesday. And I would probably look for the Grizz to get back there at home. So I'm going to take advantage of getting the Nuggets at a good line. I still believe just asking them to win the game actually at -1, not 3.5, So ski. But yeah, man, -1 is good to me. I like it. I think that they're just clearly the better team. Bones had a big shot last game. I told you guys this guy, we talked about it all. I hate to say I told you, but, I get this guy out there a little bit more, get him some more minutes. And he had a big 3 against Minnesota. I like this guy off the bench. It's key. Denver's bench, if they get any production from the bench, Jeff Green had a nice night at home the other night. If they could just get production from that bench, they'll clearly handle business, and that's all they really need, because you know what you're going to get from Joker. Aaron Gordon's going to get you some rebounds, play some defense. Don't expect too much from the offensive end. And then obviously the big question is Michael Porter Jr. Just hit some jumpers, and this should be a clear, easy win for Grizzlies, because the Grizzlies, like Skee said, they play absolutely no fucking defense. So all we need to do is move the ball, don't turn it over, hit some open J's, and get out of Memphis with a W.
Yeah, by the way, I like Michael Porter prop tonight over his point total, 15.5. They don't defend the perimeter, Memphis. They just don't. And I think that's probably good news for him tonight in this game against the Grizzlies, who are just not been good with their 3-point defense. So it's a chance for Michael Porter Jr. for the Nuggets, I think, to have a pretty good night, over 15.5 points. That is definitely a prop that makes some sense to me. There is one for Memphis that I would look at, and that's Desmond Bane. Look, Dylan Brooks is out. John Morant may not play. Someone's got to pick up the slack for Memphis. Even though I like Denver in the game, that doesn't say you can't bet any Memphis props. And he's the one for Memphis. Desmond Bane's been very good shooting the basketball. He's been a consistent double-digit scorer for them. I think you go Desmond Bane over his point prop. And look, Desmond Bane, 20-plus points at DraftKings, +130. I like that. I think someone's got to pick up the slack here with no Brooks, with John Morant likely, but very, very potentially not playing here tonight, and he's been the guy to do it. We've seen Bane the last few games. What's he scored? 17, 19, 19, 17, 19, 22. He's been right around 20, and you would think his usage and his shot volume may increase tonight if there's no John Morant. So that 20-plus points for Desmond Bane of Memphis at +130, that's something I really like. I think that can be a good one to go with there. Wham, what do you think here, Denver and Memphis?
Man, again, day after day, it's something I have written down. I know my guys, Ian is bringing right up.
Oh, you're looking at Desmond Bane.
Too, Desmond Bane, man. Shout out to my guy, Kyle Hamburg, man. He the one who put me on Desmond Bane early on this season. Also, the Kuzma look as well with the rebounds. I just think this is another play that you just got to continue to go over the points. It's not available right now because I think this is a consensus that John Morant most likely won't play. So that means I do like the Denver first quarter. I think my guy Skee asked me earlier today. I didn't know about John Morant, so now definitely really like Denver first quarter today against on the road here against this team Memphis. I think Desmond Bane is definitely the best bet though, for sure. He has to be the guy. He's played really well. Most improved candidate for sure. 18.8 points per game this guy's averaging, man. He's out there doing his thing. I think you're going to get about 17.5 though for about his average regular juice line. But what Ian is talking about is perfect money for me too. +130, bro, for the 20 points or more. That sounds good enough for me as well too. So I think I'm going to take the points as soon as it's available to me. I'll tweet it out. But that's the way I'll be leaning here. Desmond Bane over points.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good prop to look at in this game. All right, Orlando and Minnesota. We've got the T-Wolves, 8.5, 9-point home favorites in this game. The total right now, 215.5, 216, pretty much across the board in this one. The Orlando Magic, they played the majority of their games. They played 7 games, 5 of them on the road. They continue this road trip. This is the third and final game of it. And then they're going to head home to face Boston. They've lost the first 2 games of this road trip to the Raptors and to the Pistons by 7 points or less, though. So it does make you worried about laying this many points potentially with the Timberwolves. But when you look at the T-Wolves schedule, they're playing the Clippers in back-to-back games. They're off a tough loss to Denver. They played pretty well in that game for the most part, but they could not hold on to a fourth quarter lead. They lose by 2. Before that, they upset the Milwaukee Bucks as 6-point home underdogs. I still think Minnesota's got, in terms of their schedule, it's about to get tougher. They've got a lot of tough games coming up. I think this is an important game for Minnesota to say, hey, we got to show up and get this job done here tonight in this game against the Orlando Magic. They've been on the road for a while. Actually, don't be fooled by the Detroit score. They lost by 7, but they were down by almost 20 at this point in time. They were down by almost 20 in the third quarter against Detroit, and Detroit kind of took their foot off the gas pedal here. I would maybe look at a Timberwolves split bet here, first half at around -5, and then the full game at -8.5 or -9. I like the Timberwolves. They've been a bet on type of team for me, and with the schedule getting more difficult on the horizon, this is a game where I think they're going to come in here meaning business, get the job done, take care of business here against Orlando. So I like the Wolves here, -8.5, -9 full game, and a little bit on the first half as well, laying the 5 here against this Orlando team. Skee, what do you think here, Magic Timberwolves?
Yeah, I don't really have a lot on this game. I think everybody's going to be betting the Timberwolves, just saying, oh, Magic are so terrible. And I think Magic will finally play a decent game and cover this number. So lean Magic, but they won't be in my pocket.
Lean Magic, but not convincingly. All right. Dutch, what do you think here? Orlando, Minnesota.
Yeah, man, I've been waiting. I pretty much do agree with what Skee just said, and Vital said it well too. Like 9 points is a lot, but I think I'll just backwood this bitch, man. I've been waiting to use this motherfucker. So yeah, man, clear backwood for me. Clear backwood. I'm not laying points with the Wolves. They're not that many. They'll win, but not that many. Sorry.
All right, Magic T-Wolves, wham.
Yeah, backwood for sure on the side and total. But I do like the prop Franz Wagner over 1.5 threes at -130. I'll pay the juice, man. Had 3 threes last time. Most of his shots are coming behind the arc. I like this young kid here on Orlando. It's the reason why I would lean Orlando like Skee though here. But again, it's a bad team. I was rooting for him last game. They should have won that game against the Pistons too, bro. They kind of just let it. They can't score, bro. So, but the only guy that can score is this guy here. Franz Wagner, he's very consistent behind the arc. I do like that over 1.5 threes for sure.
All right, next up, final game of this Monday card, Oklahoma City Thunder, LA Clippers. We got the Clippers 12.5 point home favorites, 209.5 the total in this one. The Clippers just 1-4 on the year, just a really, really bad start for them. We thought, after blowing out the Blazers, it was going to be a turning point for them. Well, they lose the next 2. They get blown out at home by the Cavs. They get blown out by the Blazers, 111-92. They've now been off for a couple of days, maybe to stew on that. It feels like this could be a team they absolutely roll and smash, and it feels that way. It looks that way, and yet I'm still not ready to lay 12.5. Not that many points with the Clippers here, even though this is a clear 2 days off, 2 straight blowout losses. This is a team they should roll past, but I just don't want to lay this many points with them. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's been very good, my fellow Hamilton man. It's 22 points averaging per game. And it's also worth noting, too, OKC, you're looking at their situation here. Lou Dort, who can give you some offense, but one of their best defenders, even more importantly, is out for the OKC Thunder going into this game against the Clippers. So what that means is, you'll miss his defense. You're going to need a couple guys to step up offensively. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's done a pretty solid job of that the last few games for the Thunder. And you look at his production's been good. They've gotten some from Baisley as well. Josh Giddey as well has been able to step up at times and give them some offense. He's had 10 and 18 points the last 2 games. But, for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he had scored 27 plus points in 3 of his last 4 games. Some of those against really good teams. 27 against the Lakers, 30 against Golden State, 29 against Philadelphia. So, he's scored some points against competition on the same level or even better, if you ask me, than the Clippers. So I like his prop over 21.5 points tonight. He's going to have to be someone that just goes off for at least in the 20s to keep this Oklahoma City team afloat. So more than betting the side or total, I'm not going to get involved in either the side or the total in this game. I'm just going to go with SGA for Oklahoma City. SGA for OKC over 21.5 tonight with that player prop. What do you think here, Skee, with the Thunder Clippers?
Backwood, I have no interest. We have 10 games today. I don't really want to bet OKC and Clippers. I'm not going to watch it. Don't want to cap it. Don't want to talk about it. I'll pass it to you guys.
Yeah, the under's been hit as well. 213 down to 210. It's tough. Clippers are going to play better defense, but at the same time, OKC is not a team I'm comfortable betting unders at 210. Not really with their defense. What do you think here, Dutch? OKC, LAC.
No, Skee might just scare me off of it. He just made me not as confident in my bet with the backwood. No, but I did place a unit on this game -11. Just the numbers, man. I just think this is a get right spot. It's up to 12.5, so I do feel a little bit better about it. I guess
13.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, nice, man. So so tough foul, but I do think that they'll win this game by double digits. The Thunder are 0-3 ATS on the road. Now their average loss, but 25 points on the road. It's just not very good. 0-7 ATS on their last 7 road games. I just, you mentioned the injuries with Dort out. I just think the Clippers got embarrassed last time by Cavs on this court. They got embarrassed in Portland. They're back home. I mean, they've had a couple days. They should come out very salty and just fucking smash this team. 15+ easy. I like the Clippers here. I like them a lot. But it's hard to say that with these Clippers. But when you look at it and you just look at the talent, the Clippers should be up by 20 points in the fourth quarter in this game. And if they're not, it'll be pretty disappointing. I do see, obviously it's up to 13. That's a little tough, but I definitely like that 11 for sure. I don't know if I'd lay 13 now.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, to me, this is that prototypical answer the bell. You got to crush this team if you're the Clippers. Yeah. I mean, after it should be, but I'm schizophrenic with this team right now, and there's a lot of bad body language. There's bad vibes I'm getting at times with the Clippers. That's why I'm passing, but it would be the Clippers if I absolutely had to bet this side. What about you, Wham? Thunder Clippers?
Yeah, I think I'll agree with Dutch and Ian here. SGA is the guy that I did take his points, rebounds, and assists last year when he made his way back to the Clippers. He likes to play this team pretty well because it's his former team here. So I do like the SGA over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Even though Josh Giddey gets a lot of those assists and rebounds, I think with Dort out, another guy that's rotating the ball, he probably will be one of those guys that gets these guys open. So more based off of the penetration there, basically. But I do think this is a Clipper spot here, man. It's just one of those games. I'm not going to lie. If it wasn't 13, if it was getting like 11, I'd be on the Clippers for sure. It just took a little bit too much time to make my decision here. I should have been on that 11 with you, bro. I think the Clippers do win this game by margin and early and often, in my opinion. I just think that this is a bad team. And they already fucked up their season by beating the Lakers. They got to start counting up these L's, man. That's their main goal, is to just get these L's. So this is another game I can see them losing out, especially with Lou Dort out there.
Yeah, it could be a tough night for OKC if the Clippers come in meaning business-like and workman-like here in this game. All right, before we get to best bets and wrap up this edition of the Pub Hub, we do have a Monday night NFL football game. We got the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City 10.5-point home favorites here, 52 the total in this game. I'm not laying 10.5 with Kansas City. I'm not running to back the Giants, but if I have to make a bet on the side, I'm taking the Giants here. I am. Even with all the injuries, and look, they're banged up. They're playing at Arrowhead on a Monday night. Chiefs off one of their worst losses in a long time, that 27-3 debacle at Tennessee. And the Giants are banged up on offense. Like I said, there's no Golladay tonight. There's no Barkley. Sterling Shepard is going to play, but he's playing through a hamstring injury. Kadarius Toney is going to be a game-time decision with the ankle. I mean, they do have a lot of injuries on the offensive side, but, they have been just gold in this road underdog role. I mean, I'll rhyme it off for you if you don't believe me, but in this point spread range, 22-7, ATS is a road dog. Their last 29 in this role, 20-6 ATS, their last 26 road games. And with this Kansas City team, their defense has been dog shit all year, dog shit. It's been absolutely terrible. They haven't been able to get stops against anybody. And now the offense has sputtered the last couple of games. Patrick Mahomes has already almost doubled his interception numbers from all of last year, and we're not even into November yet this year. it's just I'm going to need to. Now, people say this is the spot. This has got to be the opponent. Giants are coming in wounded with all the injuries. I get all that, but it's a lot of points with a defense that hasn't stopped anybody and an offense that's been in decline the last couple of weeks. And say what you will about the Giants, the defense is still hanging in there for them and at least giving them a chance. So it's not a strong bet, but I've got to be on the Giants here at this number, at this plus 10.5 or something, just because I do not trust the Chiefs yet in this kind of price range here. What do you think here, Skee? Did you like anything Monday Night Football?
Not enough to play, but you know, the Chiefs. If you like the Giants, why not just go Giants team total? I mean, Chiefs are kind of allowing everybody to score whether they win the game or not. I think that's the way I would go if I like the Giants. I just can't help but think like how I mean, I know the Chiefs defense has been terrible, mostly against the run. If I'm not mistaken, there's no Saquon Barkley back today, right? So I don't know. I just don't see the Giants having a lot of success. I'm not going to call him Danny Dimes. His name is Daniel Jones. And if you're going to put him up against Pat Mahomes after the way that they looked last week, I just have to think that they have a bounce back performance. So I would only play Chiefs minus the points. And I'm expecting a lot of points from that side.
Yeah, that tells you where we're at with this game. At least Skee and I could only back the Giants. I'm reluctant to do it, and Skee could only back the Chiefs, and he's reluctant to do it. So that's where we're at right now with this game. It's just, but the Giants have just been so. They did beat the Saints, remember? As road underdogs outright a few weeks ago, and they've been great in this role. Road dogs, especially double-digit road dogs. We'll see if they can come through once again tonight, getting this number of points. Dutch, did you have any thoughts, Chiefs-Giants?
Well, to touch on what Skee said, I would have to say that defense for the Chiefs, they might make Daniel Jones look like Danny Dimes, my guy, because that Chiefs defense,
Daniel Vick and shit.
Horrible. Yeah, that Chiefs defense is so fucking bad, bro. Like, and then they want to call out their fans and shit because they're that garbage. Talking about the record, all the Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in that offense have gotten you that shit. They've overlooked that defense and made up for that defense with being an elite offense. So I don't know, it's not like I'm sticking up for the fans. And it's like, just do your fucking job, play a little bit better defense, maybe, instead of talking shit. And this is from some good guys too coming from the Chiefs, throwing their fans under the bus. I was surprised to see that. The Honey Badger and I forget the other cat. But yeah, I would look Chiefs first half minus 6.5, minus 120. I think that's probably the best look on the board. And I think the over 52, is still there. I mean, I know it's high, but I'm not sold on this Chiefs defense at all. And Daniel Jones, DJ, has shown that he can make plays, man. He can make plays with whoever's on the field. And I expect him to make some plays under the lights against a very suspect defense in Kansas City.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of that defense, Charvarius Ward, the starting corner for the Chiefs, is out again. Chris Jones is likely out again, and they have the best pass rusher. They haven't had him in weeks. And Tyrann Mathieu, questionable. I think he's going to play, but he may be at less than 100% tonight. So not only a struggling defense, but some key contributors that are either out or maybe playing through a little bit of an injury here. So more concerns for Kansas City. Wham, do you like anything, Giants and Chiefs?
Daniel Vick, man. Daniel Nichols, whatever you want to call him, man. Over 24.5 rushing yards. We know that this sideline defense the side-to-sideline defense for the Kansas City is pretty much trash. So all you got to do is just run to the side. And we've seen Daniel Jones do it countless of time on prime time that he runs around and shit. Over 24.5. Probably ain't that hard to get over here. So the only way I would look. That's the only way I would look here.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Is the over rushing yards, especially lack of a run game without Saquon Barkley and Kadarius Toney. I mean, they're just so banged up right now. Devontae Booker is going to be your best running back here tonight for the Giants, and he's been around the block. So this probably is going to be a game where Daniel Jones has to run the football at least a little bit. Certainly faces a defense that could give up those rushing yards to the quarterback. Great stuff with Skee, with Dutch, with Wham. We'll get to best bets in just a second. 316 live viewers. Are you kidding? Hit the like button. Make sure you do it. Hit that like button. Show your appreciation. We're here for you 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on the NBA Pub Hub. We'll get to our best bets in just a second. But first, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in for great food, drinks, live music, DJs, and karaoke at Southtown 101. Manscaped promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase using the promo code PubSports, Lawnmower 4.0, or any Manscaped product on the site, 20% off using promo code PubSports. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Football season, lots left. NBA, NHL underway. College basketball starts next week. Great time of year. Sign up for an account. MyBookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. MyBookie.ag. Promo code PubSports. All right, it's time for best bets to get the week started on a Monday edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Skee, we'll start with you. What do you got for best bet?
Best bet, I'll go best number I think you can get right now. Denver. There's a couple pick 'em, so I'll take Denver out of pick 'em. I think they win this game versus Memphis, whether Morant plays or he doesn't.
All right, Denver Nuggets, pick 'em against the Memphis Grizzlies. Best bet for Skee. Dutch, freshest look.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. We're going right where Ski. Going to Grindhouse, baby. It's going to be a mile motherfucking high. Denver Nuggets, pick 'em at BetMGM -110. Lock that shit in. Good money, man. Early and often. Believe it.
All right, Denver Nuggets, pick them against Memphis for Dutch with the freshest look. Wham, best bet.
Taking my shit. Muted, Wham.
I'm saying, man, might as well just say Denver first quarter, bro. God damn, the way you guys talking. But here I'm going to just go back to the well here with Kuzma. Kuzma over 8.5 rebounds. Again, he's averaging 11.8 rebounds a game. I do like the Denver first quarter, and I also like Desmond Baines over points. Those are my three plays that will be official on my Twitter here. That's where I'm rocking with, man. All
right, there you go. Kyle Kuzma over rebounds. Best bet for Wham. And my best bet, it's going to be a team that I've cashed with them twice, and it's right on the edge of being my favorite bet. There's a couple others I like as much, but I've had good success using this team as a best bet on this show, and I'm going to go to the well with them again, even laying a big number here. Minnesota Timberwolves, 8.5 here. There we go. Minnesota Timberwolves -8.5 here against the Orlando Magic. End of a road trip for Orlando. Minnesota's lost, a tough one against Denver. I think it's a bounce back spot. Lay it on thick and take care of business and win by double digits against a pretty bad Orlando Magic team. Minnesota -8.5 over Orlando for my best bet. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. We thank everybody in the chat for joining us. As always, hit the like button on your way out. We will be back tomorrow, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, once again for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. For Skee Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, and Trot Wham, this is Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games. Good luck. Cash some tickets. We'll be back with you tomorrow on Tuesday right here on the NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the chat, the real ones. Appreciate all the love. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not, and share the video if you can. You already know what it is, man. It's Medicaid Monday, and we're about to be a mile motherfucking high. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.